Okay, 8.2, page 354, exercise 4 asks you to insert a number of arithmetic means given a couple of numbers. And so what it's saying is that in this series there's a 5 and there's a 10 in this series, and they would like to have two arithmetic means in between. Looks like this. There's a 5, there's another number, and then 10. That's what the series is going to look like, and that's why they want two arithmetic means in there. And if they're arithmetic means, it means that this is going to be D, and this is going to be the exact same D, and this is going to be the exact same D, which means that between 5 and 10 there are going to be 3 D's. In other words, 5 plus 3D equals 10. And if we can solve for D, when we add that to 5, we've got the first arithmetic mean, and we add 2 of them to 5, and we get the second arithmetic mean. So let me rephrase that, and then you're going to finish this one by yourself, or pause it and finish it. There are 3 steps up: step 1, step 2, step 3, from 5 to 10. So you figure out what D is, add it to 5, and that's going to be this number here. And then add another one of those, and you get this number here. Pause the video and finish it. Okay, so 3D equals 10 minus 5, 3D equals 5, D equals 5 over 3. So if we add 5 over 3 to 5, we get 6 2/3. And if we add 5 over 3 to that, that's here 6 2/3. 6 2/3 would also be 20 over 3. And if we add another 5 over 3 to this, we get 8 1/3. Which is also 25 over 3. This one's a little bit harder. This one uses variables, so it doesn't tell you what those numbers are, so doing calculations is impossible. That would mean that the result will be shown in terms of those variables themselves. But we can't put it in terms of D. We have to do it just in terms of A and B. So we know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4 steps up between A and B, because there are 3 arithmetic means, so D shows up 4 times in between. And the question is, how are we going to phrase this? Well, the distance between A and B is B minus A. And if we divided that into 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces, we would get D. So this one here, this is D. D equals that. Make sure you understand that before we proceed. So the first item here, the first term after, well, this term 2 here, would be A plus this stuff. So the first term is A plus B minus A over 4. The next term is going to be A plus B minus A over 4 twice. We'll put a 2 there. And the next one will be A plus B minus A over 4 3 times. So those are my 3 terms. This representation of them, though, is not the same as what's in the answer key. They do it a little bit differently. Clearly you can simplify here. But this one here, to make it look like it does in the answer key, if we multiply the entire thing by 4, if we did this, we would end up with 4A plus B minus A. So we multiply it all by 4, then we have to divide it all by 4, before we do that, 4a plus b minus a essentially is what we end up with. So we multiplied by 4 here, we take the brackets out, we see that the 4a minus a is 3a, so we get 3a plus b, and then we have to divide it all by 4 again since we multiplied it by 4, and we end up with this, and that's what the answer key looks like. This, to me, is fine, but the answer key shows it like this, and this is actually the same thing as this. This one here, if we simplify it, we cancel out the 2 and the 4, we get a plus b minus a over 2. And in the same way, we can multiply this whole thing through by 2, as long as we promise to divide it by 2 again later. That should be fine. We get 2a plus b minus a. And 2a minus a is a, so we get a plus b. And now we're going to divide by 2 again, and that's what the answer key shows. But it's the same as this. And this one here, if we multiply the whole thing by 4, okay, I've put the 3 into the b and the a here just by using the distributive property there. So if I multiply by 4, I get 4a plus 3b minus 3a, and 4a minus 3a of course is a, so I get a plus 3b, and now I have to divide it all by 4 again, and it ends up like that, and that's what the answer key shows. So these three are what the answer key shows. These three would be fine, although this one could be simplified with the 2 and the 4 being cancelled out, but they are exactly the same. Now you should be able to do, having watched that, you should be able to do this one here, because this is the same thing except there's 2 arithmetic means instead of 3, so it's a bit simpler.